my mom was a coach, so she coached me from grammar school through 10th grade. Played for her until I was a sophomore in high school, and she was my first mentor. I mean, it's just I loved being around, you're in third grade, the people that were your idols, the eighth graders, and they were all my babysitters. And my mom coached Rosie Regridge when she was in grammar school. Nina Matthews lived down the street, and she ran the teach program that we did every day. And then went to another school where actually I played for Mickey McFadden, who was a 68 Olympian. I actually, at my second school, Marlboro High School in Los Angeles, it was a 7th through 12th grade school, and they actually asked me to coach the 7th and 8th grade volleyball basketball teams. So I actually started kind of coaching as an 11th and 12th grader. I grew up in a sports world, and I was surrounded by so many great people that's what made me who I am today. Went to college, kind of was the one with Andy that would sit in his office and help with stats. So I kind of bugged him about that, but Andy was very influential in my career. Then went to the national team, got hurt, went into software engineering for 4 years, but continued to scout for UCLA when they didn't have all these rules. Got back into college coaching, actually because of the Corbellis. I was at John and Lori's wedding in Dallas and needed a ride from the church to the reception, and got a ride with Dick Montgomery, who was at San Jose State. Ended up at San Jose State for about a year and a half. Stanford opened up, and the rest is history. Talking about my mentors, probably one of the ones that out of the box is Billy Moore. I don't know. She was my basketball coach at UCLA, and she was the 76 Olympic coach, and she coached me for 3 years. And because she let me do things that normal basketball coaches wouldn't do. Let me play volleyball during basketball season. Played with Annie Myers, Drysdale, Denise Curry, both basketball Hall of Famers, and Anita Ortega, who's just retired from being an LA police captain. We won a championship in '78. It was the first women's Final Four type situation in 1978 in the AIW. So it's kind of cool. But I played for Gene Selznick. I played for Ari. I worked with Mike Hebert, Hugh McCutcheon. So, I've been fortunate to be around a lot of people. But I wanted to especially thank Don Shaw, John Dunning, Kevin Hamley, working with all three, all very different coaches. Don was, in the era of no videos. So the amount of video he put together, that was his passion, was the videotapes, and he probably watched every film 20 times and knew every player. And John was probably the best teacher in terms of skills and teaching the skills. Kevin was more the stat guy. In regards to recruiting, I wanted to make sure that we didn't miss anybody. When I first got to Stanford in the 89 and 90, we only had a budget to go to California. The year that we were starting to recruit, it was Kristen Folko and Marnie Triesenbach in the early 90s, and we went in and said, we need to go nationally if we're going to be as successful as it grows. Then we got Nick Yotto from Pittsburgh. We got Eileen Murphy from Tampa. We got Paula McNamee from Washington, D.C. You had to get the right person, and they had to have the academics, and that was the hard part. It was easier back then because everything wasn't as sped up. I chose to be an assistant coach, associate coach. Partly, I'm from California. I didn't want to move out of California. And it was Stanford. There wasn't really any reason to leave. I felt one of the best, if not the best, combination of academic athletic programs in the country. And we always had a chance to win. And I like to win. And I also thought that this was the best place I could recruit to because I believed in the process. It took us a long time to do training tables. Stanford was like, if you're not doing it for other students, we can't just do it for athletes. And I like that. I always use Kim Oden as an example. When she came back for all her reunions, she either was with her volleyball teammates or her freshman dorm mates. And that was after 30 years. I look back and, most of the reason I decided to get out of the college world was, my mom had some health issues during December. She got sick while she was up here at Stanford right before the playoffs. Had to put her in hospital. Had to put her in a care home during the playoffs, didn't see her for 2 weeks because I was busy, and it's not like I can get a sub for your matches. So I was actually able to be down on my mom's actual birthday for the first time in 35 years. Well, I'm honored that I'm the first assistant coach. I didn't need to be a head coach. I loved being an assistant, but I love Stanford, and that was the main thing. It's an honor to be inducted in the Hall of Fame, to show coaches that they don't have to be head coaches to be impactful.